And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Welcome to Alaska Weather. I'm meteorologist Peter Chan, coming to you from the National Weather Service in Alaska region on this Saturday, April 5th, 2025. And the weather-related headlines across the state of Alaska. There is a wind advisory in effect for the Alaska Range through that Isabel Pass area north of Trim's Camp into late Sunday afternoon. Some gusty south winds could reach as high as 45 to near 60 miles an hour. And then we have very high avalanche danger, avalanche warning there for the western Chugach and Kenai Mountains there of the eastern Kenai areas around Girdwood, as well as Prince William Sound. And that's through late this Saturday afternoon, but the threat will persist into next week as we are now in the springtime, and any additional load from rain or snow could make the conditions worse there. There's a possibility of a G1 or G2 minor to moderate geomagnetic storm over the course of this weekend, awaiting some of that disturbance to arrive from the sun. Could enhance aurora where skies are clear. And it looks like overall an occasionally active weather pattern will continue, especially along the Gulf Coast right up through the middle of April. And looking at a couple of the FAA webcams on this Saturday afternoon, Shishmaref there on the northern side of the Seward Peninsula was down to 15 below zero this morning. Some very cold air still lingering there along the west side of the state. Mostly sunny, only a 7 above this afternoon, despite that strong early April sunshine. Klawock, as well as Metlakatla, had the state's high of 57 yesterday. Readings are running a little cooler this afternoon due to more in the way of cloud cover and some scattered light rain showers, and there along the Gulf Coast and especially through the Panhandle. The rain will be enhanced as we go through late tonight and Sunday morning as another wave or trough rotates up through that region, enhancing the rain there at sea level, and then the potential for some accumulating snow in the mid and upper levels of the coastal mountains. And here is the latest update from the River Forecast Center regarding the outlook for river breakup. So when we talk about ice jam flooding and snowmelt runoff flooding, there is above average potential for areas of the interior that includes the Yukon, the middle upper Yukon, Tanana, Koyukuk, and some of the North Slope basins due to higher than normal snowpack. And this past week, last like Monday, Tuesday into Wednesday and Thursday, another 1 to 2 feet of snow fell in some of the mountains there above Fairbanks, the White Mountains there. So a lot of water content resides there in the especially central interior river systems. Below average potential, though, for ice jam flooding and snowmelt flooding, the lower Yukon and the Kuskokwim River basins, and most of south central, south of the Alaska Range, due to very low snowpack caused by the warmer than normal winter. And a quick check of a few of the hazards that are out there. We have a wind advisory until 4 p.m. Sunday afternoon for the area around Isabel Pass, especially north of Trim's Camp, toward up to near Delta Junction. You can see some wind gusts, certainly around 40, 50 miles an hour, maybe a bit higher out of the south here, now through Sunday afternoon. And then this area in red is a avalanche warning until 5 p.m. Saturday evening. So this may be reissued for Sunday, and it'll probably be needed at some point early next week, because the areas around the eastern Chugach and Kenai Mountains, we have some very unstable conditions there with the snowpack, and there's concern that some rain and snow will fall on that. So this area, including places surrounding Prince William Sound, around Girdwood, down through Turnagain and Moose Passes, that's where the greatest danger exists. So if you're thinking about doing any kind of backcountry snow machining or skiing, be extremely careful and avoid, by all means, any of the steeper slopes. And here again, here is that avalanche warning, particularly for Turnagain Pass and Moose Pass there in the eastern Kenai Mountains. And looking at the satellite imagery on this Saturday afternoon, we have another push of moisture coming northward. We've already had one trough kind of push inland with cloud cover. So overall, there's more in the way of cloudiness across the state. Back to the west, we have across the eastern Bering and along areas of the west coast, generally a northerly cold flow of air. We have another front and low coming up into the central and western Aleutians with some rain and even potentially some thunder lightning there, as there's more of a convective nature to the clouds. Late tonight into early Sunday morning, the way things look is we have in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere low pressure in this region, as well as here over the Bering Strait pushing toward the Seward Peninsula. So what's important about that, it steers the surface weather systems. We have a couple of lows, one just southwest of the Gulf, southeast of Kodiak Island, and another impulse coming up. And so as these features rotate through, that's what's going to enhance the rain at sea level and the low elevations of the Panhandle tonight into Sunday morning and along the northern Gulf Coast as we go through again late tonight and into Sunday afternoon. There is some colder air to the west, the northerly flow along the west side of the state and across the eastern Bering. Pretty chilly temperatures, and this is kind of the frontal boundary that divides that. By Sunday afternoon, that bit of a front comes eastward a little, but we still have the upper level feature just kind of sitting here over the northwest interior, and that's going to keep some snow showers or areas of lighter snow going on in portions of the north, as well as some instability for some lighter rain snow showers in areas of the interior. But again, along the Gulf Coast into the Panhandle, you're going to have some areas of rain showers, and then again snow in the mid and upper elevations of the coastal mountains. And by the time we get into Monday, another little disturbance rotates in just to keep the showers going, the instability there. Meanwhile, another little shot of colder air drops southeastward. That's going to take a dive across the southeast Bering and coming across the Alaska Peninsula and eastern Aleutians as we get into Monday night, early Tuesday. And we still have, this is the pivot point where we just have this mid-level low pressure sitting here and circulating. So it's just going to tend to keep the smaller surface impulses just kind of rotating back to the north and west across the Gulf as we head into next week as well. And by Tuesday, we find still kind of a lingering frontal boundary, kind of a secondary one that's pushed east across the eastern mainland that may have mainly some snow showers with it. There could be a little mixed rain and snow lower elevations, but here we still have that low pressure sitting there east of Kodiak Island, southwest Gulf, and then another trough rotating northward that could enhance again some more areas of rain or rain showers along the Gulf Coast, lower elevations with again some snow in the mid and higher elevations of the coastal mountains. Temperature wise, we have seen readings come up a fair amount across the eastern half of the mainland. Coldest temperatures are going to be out along areas of the Chukchi Sea coast on over toward St. Lawrence Island, getting down to the single digits above or below zero in some areas. Nighttime temperatures staying generally around or just a tad above 40, especially southern outer Panhandle coast, and generally staying just above freezing in areas of south central. And then on Sunday afternoon, we find readings moderate back up into the 40s to near 50 degrees still in some areas of the eastern interior, and also coming down here through south central, south of the Alaska Range, and certainly some 50-degree readings with rain showers or areas of rain at sea level here across the Panhandle. Back to the west, cold. And this pattern is going to hold for the first probably couple of weeks of April here along the west side of the state, the mainland. Highs are only going to be in the single digits above zero, northern parts of the Seward Peninsula, Shishmaref, Wales, on up to Point Hope all the way to Wainwright. And then on Monday morning, we expect low temperatures may dip a bit below freezing in the Anchorage area around south central. And there is a little push of colder temperatures, readings getting back down near or just below zero across much of the northwest. And then areas cooling also along the Elcan border, not quite as mild as what they were. And nighttime lows will generally be upper 30s to near 40 degrees for the southeast Panhandle, and still getting a bit below freezing at Unalaska there in the eastern Aleutians, 24 up there at St. Paul rather. And then for Monday afternoon, we still may find some readings in the 40s along the Elcan border at Eagle and Northway, but otherwise Coolest readings will be across the northwest portion of the mainland, with highs still only in the single digits above zero. And then still south of the Alaska Range, daytime highs getting above freezing, with some 40s, like Gulcana would be one of the warmer spots. And then here across the Panhandle, we're looking at high temperatures Monday afternoon, generally around or up into the lower 50s in many spots. But looking ahead here, April 11th through the 15th, taking us right up to mid-month. The 6 to 10 day temperature outlook provided by the Climate Prediction Center of the National Weather Service indicates temperatures will average near normal along the Alcan border, the far eastern mainland, into areas along the Gulf Coast, into the Panhandle, but below normal, with the greatest likelihood of below normal temperatures. The Seward Peninsula through the Bering Strait and down here through the lower Yukon-Kuskokwim basins. This area here will likely experience below normal temperatures, so don't look for any melting in those areas. And then the potential for above normal precipitation. Precipitation may average just a sliver above normal across the northern mainland, especially north of the Yukon River, across the Brooks Range, North Slope, Arctic coast, as well as areas of the Panhandle. And then the likelihood of a little below normal precipitation along areas of the southwest that would include Kuskokwim and Bristol Bays, extending down along the Alaska Peninsula into the eastern Aleutians.